There you are.
Yes.
I have no idea what's going on. It's 4 times I send a request. You say, I'm waving, here I am.
You know, every day it seems like we have a problem connecting, and every day when we end up connecting, I get super excited. So I kind of like that we have trouble. You know, it's worth the squeeze. You know what I'm saying?
Totally. So I want to welcome everybody that's, we've already had people lined up, Rose rotation to get into the room. They've been here. Want to welcome everybody from the JOMBOY media party side of things. Man, we got a lot of ground to cover. So let's start with the showstopper, as in Shohei. He is unquestionably the biggest name in the sport right now. Is that accurate?
One of, yeah, for sure.
No. Who else is bigger than him right now? Give me a name.
I mean, he's hot right now. There's no doubt about it, and he should be, top 3 dudes who's getting pub in the sport. I still like Mookie a lot. I think Mookie has a lot to offer.
Okay.
He's like on the good LA team. That makes a difference. I still think guys like, obviously, Trout, Judge has everything going for him. He's playing in New York. Ohtani is we can talk about Ohtani, though. I know you want to talk about him. I mean, he's a guy that
I'm getting a sense of you're wearing a little thin because we talk about him a lot. I tweeted last night after he hit a homer against the Indians. We talk about him every day on JOMBOY Media, and I feel like it's not enough. And in fact, J.J. Watt, who really doesn't watch that much baseball because I follow him on social media, was tweeting like, what this guy is doing is ridiculous. When you're getting one of the faces of the NFL tweeting about baseball in the middle of May, to me, that's a big story.
I agree with that. Look, I told you yesterday he's going to win the MVP. And I don't think there's if he stays healthy, there's no doubt about it in my mind he's going to win the MVP. And in fact, I believe that all the brands in North America should be looking at Shohei Ohtani and figuring out a way to get them in a campaign. Now, there's a few things that work against him, and from no fault of his own. The language barrier is a thing. Whether, you want to admit it or not, it is a thing. But
it's a thing, but it could be kind of cool.
Exactly. Brands can get creative with him.
Totally.
And they need to, because he's a guy, man. Like he's everything you want. He's a good-looking dude. He's big. Yeah. He's good at what he does. He's different. Like he's not run-of-the-mill, American boy. Like this guy's coming from Japan, taking our national pastime by storm. I love the story. Like he should be on a box of Wheaties. Like he should be doing stuff like that. Hasn't got to that level yet, but I guarantee it's in the works.
Yeah. So a couple of things. First of all, a lot of people said yesterday he can't win the MVP if he's on a last place team.
Of course he can.
Well, then they say, how valuable are you if you're on the last place team?
He's so valuable. What do you thought? Like, yeah, no, that's a dumb argument. I don't like that argument.
Okay, I don't either. But there are people, and I'm sure there are people who are right in the chat that
How does Trout?
And then there's people who are.
How did Trout ever win an MVP then?
Right, he's definitely not on a first place team. He's never been on a last place team when he won. But yes, you make a good point. He doesn't win the division or make the playoffs every time he wins the MVP. Yeah. Exactly. I'm with you on that. To me, the reason we should be making such a big deal about this, I tweeted out last night that it's the equivalent of a really good quarterback also leading the league in sacks. Like, I think this is just so unprecedented what we're seeing. We're seeing a guy have an over 900 OPS with 13 bombs that has an ERA a smidge over 2. It is absolutely ridiculous. And every time he does something, I am stopping. Every time he starts, he'll start Wednesday against my Indians. I'd be watching regardless, but I will watch every pitch he throws. I will make sure of it. I'm going to be at my kid's high school game, and I'm still going to be watching Shohei. So
I love the comparison. That tweet was golden, bro. Like it puts it in perspective for people that don't, it's hard to fathom, wrap your head around what he's doing, because we just, like you said, you haven't seen it. But when you make a comparison like that, it's great. And like I said, Shohei should be talked about. We're talking about him a lot. We're a baseball show, but he should be talked about in out of baseball circles.
Totally.
Like he's that interesting. When people who don't watch baseball hear a story like Ohtani, like what he's doing hasn't been done since Babe Ruth, that perks their ears up right away. So brands need to get on this, and like I said, I'm pretty sure they are.
All right, real quickly, I want to remind you that the Instagram live show that we do every day is presented to you by Dugout Mugs. In fact, I got a new cool one. They sent it to me yesterday. Ready? Look at the engraving.
Yes.
Is that nice?
That's nice.
Okay? So what we're trying to do, a little early Father's Day shopping for you. You got about a month left, and you're like, I don't know what to get Dad this year. If Dad's a huge baseball head, it is the perfect gift, courtesy of Dugout Mugs. So you go, you get your Dugout mug, put your favorite cerveza in there. You can get the wind out, which is nice. If he likes drinking it from a bottle, we can help you out with popping that. And then if Dad really wants to get spicy on the weekend, a little knob shot as well. So you go to dugoutmugs.com, use the code word ROSE. You're going to get 35% off of your offer. 35% off of that payment, okay, for the first 500 fans out there that use the code word ROSE at dugoutmugs.com. But if you're like number 501, don't worry. You get 30% off if you're one of the next 500, 25% off of the next 500, and so on and so on. We are here to save you money, get a great gift for Dad. I was super excited when I saw the box courtesy of Dugout Mugs come, and look at that. You can get whatever you want engraved on there. You want the Chris Rose rotation? Great.
Yeah, I need one of those. Rotation. So I need an IG Live one. What's up, Dugout Mugs? Come on. Hey, but for real, though, if you want to be the cool dad at the barbecue, like, oh, hey, bro, what's that? Dugout Mug for sure.
Yeah, exactly. You'll stand out as totally different. So dugoutmugs.com, use the code word ROSE, and save yourself some cash. All right, let's move on. I want to talk about your old team, Minnesota Twins, worst team in baseball, 9th inning, and that's the reason I'm wearing a White Sox hat. It's very tough for an Indians fan to wear a White Sox hat, but I support you, Yermin Mercedes, swinging 3-0 against Willians Astudillo. Astudillo kind of gave him the, like, who farted face. Like, really?
Yeah.
And then Roy Smalley, whom we both love, you know him, I don't, but I always loved him as a kid growing up, is like, I don't like it. I don't like it. Dick Bremer asked him, well, what do you think of that? And he goes, I don't really like it. Really?
Yeah, no, look, it wasn't a good take by Roy, but I will not tolerate Roy slander. He is, like, he's a guy. He is such a gentleman, and he deserves nothing but respect. He came from a different era, man. Like, that's okay. Like, people have to realize, like, that has been engraved in people's old baseball players' minds forever. And I'm talking pounded in. Okay, so, like, the game changes. You know, like, if he doesn't agree with it, that's okay. It doesn't make him a bad person. He just doesn't agree with it. That wasn't his style of baseball. Things change. Some things that we're doing in today's game, in 30 years, they're going to be like, that was dumb. Like, you have to remember, this is a cyclical game. Things change all the time. So I don't fault Roy for having that take. In my opinion, it wasn't the right take. If you, in Foolish Baseball, my boy Bailey, you know, I tweeted out that I was okay with swinging on a 3-0 pitch off position player. He wrote underneath, he said, yes, it's more respectful to the game, he's talking about swinging at a 3-0 pitch, than putting a position player into pitch. You have forfeited the game, and by then you have forfeited your right to complain about things. Like, you've given up. So that is more disrespectful to the game, in Bailey's and my opinion, than swinging 3-0. Like, go get your money, Yermin. Come on. That's fine. And he launched that shit, Chris. I love that.
He did it. He hit it 109. I think he came in 47, went out about 109. And Jimmy did a great breakdown on it. And he talked about, hey, this might help Yermin Mercedes in arbitration. I don't know if I'd go that far, but it certainly could. To me, here's the problem. And I've never met Roy Smalley, I don't believe. But you can be a great person and be dead wrong. And he is here. And I think it's borderline irresponsible. And here's why. If he had just come out and said, you know what, there's going to be some people who are up in arms about why he swung at 3-0. What people, if you're a Twins fan, what you should be pissed off about is that we're the worst team in baseball. We're trying for a third straight division title. And I get it that he works for the team, so it's a little hard. You dance around certain areas. I've worked for leagues. I still work for the NFL. You can't always be truthful when you want to be. But if he had come out and said, listen, don't be upset about the old rules of the game. That stuff doesn't matter. That's a really tiny bit of what we're talking about. We're talking about we've got one of the worst bullpens in baseball. We can't hold leads when we've got them. We can't hit when we need to. We can't pitch when we need to. Those are the biggest issues. So if you're a fan at home that's pissed off about somebody that just swung 3-0 on a position player, sit down, calm down. We've got bigger issues as a team. If he had come out, he would have done the Twins fans a service, in my opinion. Am I wrong?
Yeah, well, here's the thing I know about Roy. He's going to wake up today, and I believe he's on Twitter. He's gonna hear, like, hey, that's just not a right take. And guess what? He might do some research and formulate a new opinion, and that's what it's all about. So, like, yeah, I agree that it wasn't the right take, but I just don't think he needs as much slander And maybe that's because I know him personally, so I'm being nice to him. And if it was a different announcer, maybe I'd be more mean to him. I don't know.
But this is what I'm saying. So we always think Royce Voley's a bad person because he had the take. That's not true.
Yeah.
Like, I've had bad takes in 30 years of doing broadcasting. It doesn't necessarily make me an asshole. There's a lot of other things to do, but not that. So, I think that's the point, is that we all have to take a step back. But I just think that in the time and place, he was frustrated because he loves the organization and all that. But sometimes you have to be truthful. And the truth wasn't that Yermin Mercedes screwed up because he swung 3-0 against a position player. The truth is the Twins stink right now. That's the truth.
They stink, and I heard from a few White Sox players that Yermin was really upset. Astudillo was upset after the game.
Mm-hmm.
Called some people on the Twins today, and they said, no, bro, it's a non-issue. So I don't think we're going to see any spillover into today's game. I think most people have the take that, dude, get your money when you can. It's a freaking position player. We gave the game. Totally. Go do what you got to do.
Okay, good. I think we kind of all agree on this. Let us know what you're thinking in the chat there. We appreciate the comments. By the way, the Twins got to get going. They're 0-4 against the White Sox.
I don't think they're going to get going, man. I think I don't want to write any team off at this point. We saw whatever the Nationals did in 2019, but they don't have the three-headed monster at the top of the rotation. They need a lot of help.
A lot. All right, let's move on to the Padres. 6-1 since Tatis went on the COVID list. Last night they take care of business against the Rockies. Because of what they've done and because what the Dodgers are facing medically, are the Padres the team to beat in the West?
No. They're not. They're not.
No?
Look, it's going to be – I think it's going to be a race. But even with all the injuries, the Dodgers still have the best run differential in the West. If you go to Vegas lines, they're still the favorite to win the World Series, and it's not even close. Those guys are smart. They know what's going on. There's going to be a time. I mean, if we just count all the injuries now and we know when these guys are back, if everybody's at full force when it comes to August, September, and then into October, the Dodgers are still the best team. And I'm counting on that to happen. Not to say the Padres can't give them a run or the Giants can't keep it up, but the Dodgers, they're still the Death Star we thought they were. They're a little banged up right now, but little duct tape, they'll be back in the fold of things. And like I said, man, Vegas doesn't lie. I think they're plus 325 to win the World Series right now, and the next closest team is the Yankees at like plus 700. That shows a lot to me.
Yeah. I'm having a hard time answering my own question. I think I still like the Dodgers, but it is this close. At the beginning of the year, I said I think that the Padres will be within about 6 games or so of the Dodgers. I think it would be so great for baseball to see them head into the last week in September and they're 3 games out. That's what I'm praying for. Like, I'm praying to the baseball gods. I don't do much praying to the baseball gods, but I want to do that a little bit and just say I want to see something fun because I want to see there be a difference between a team that wins the division and the team that gets in the wild card and has to play 1 game, do or die. Okay? So
I have a take that people are going to hate right now. You ready?
Give it to me.
I think the reason that this is my reason. So this is my opinion. The reason the Dodgers are so good and so strong is because of how much Trevor Bauer has stepped up and made the rotation that much better.
Why is that the guy won the Cy Young last
year. People hate on they hate on them,
Who's they?
Everybody hates on Bauer. And look, like I say it all the time, sometimes he gives people a reason, okay? But if you just watch him on the mound, he's been absolutely incredible. He has lengthened that rotation so much, and that is what it takes in this league.
And if Buehler pitches the way he did last night, then look out. Because that guy still there's
well, of course, I'm not discounting Buehler or Kershaw. Like, they have those guys. Yeah. But then when you throw in the mix Bauer, is that rotation, baby. That's what it is.
And by the way, there were a few people in the chat who said, don't sleep on the Giants. They're the team in first place. We talked a lot about them. We appreciate what they've done through the first quarter of the season. We don't think that it has staying power. But we could be wrong. Check back in 40 games.
You think they're going to sell?
What'd you say?
You think they're going to sell still?
I do. Yes, I do. It's early, man. We're 6 weeks in. People forget that. It's 40 games.
I know.
Like, you don't crown a champ in the NFL after 4 games.
No.
4.25 now because we play 17 games. Last one, quickly. Huascar Ynoa. Bad start Sunday, punches the bench, out several months. If you're a teammate, are you pissed?
No, I don't think pissed is the right word, Chris. I think that he's a young guy. And I think Snitker handled it so impressively yesterday. His press conference, he basically said, look, like, we're going to move on from this. He's going to, learn from it, get better. Like, obviously we don't like it. But the thing that he said that really got me was not the first time it's happened, not the last time it's going to happen. Like, this stuff, it happens, So are you upset with the guy that he did that? Sure. But the right way to handle it is to just encourage him and say, work to get back. Rest right now, get back. You helped us stay in it. Without that guy, who knows where the Braves would be right now?
He was awesome. He had given up 1 earned run in his previous 3 starts before he got lit up for him.
Yeah, and he's raking.
Yeah.
So I thought Snitker handled it really well.
He did. He did. It's just, if I were a Braves fan, I'd be pissed off because we just get news about Soroka having to go under the knife again and all that sort of stuff. And Charlie Morton hasn't pitched up to snuff. So like a young guy that seemed to be blossoming, now it's going to be up to like Bryce Wilson, Wright. Those are guys that are going to have to step up. We've heard their name for years, but now it's up to them. You're going to get a crack at it because somebody punched a bench. I guess it happens.
Hey, you asked me like my feeling as a teammate, so that's how I would handle it as a teammate. As a fan, be pissed. And if you want to have a good laugh, go on our girl Ashland's Twitter. I think it's Ashland Braves at Ashland Braves, and she gives a rant about it. And I know that's how everyone feels, but she's not afraid to put it out there. I thought that was hilarious. So go check that out.
All right, real quickly, what do you have going today, Jomboy?
We're actually recording Talking Baseball today. We're going to be talking about a little bit of the grievance, a little labor pod. We're going to go into some of the weird injuries. We're going to talk about Ynoa. And then today, sequence coming out talking about Cole and his dominant 8th inning against Tampa Bay, which is really cool to go back and just revisit it.
Awesome. Quick reminder, the Stephen Vogt episode on the Chris Rose rotation dropped yesterday. A lot of positive response. He is just one of the best guys. His storytelling is off the charts good. So check it out on our Jomboy Media Baseball YouTube channel or wherever you download your podcast. We just recorded Giolito and Scherzer yesterday. That's coming out Thursday.
How'd that go?
Great. I asked him would he waive his no trade, and he talked about it honestly, like what the decision making is. So that's
awesome.
Yeah, there was some really, really good stuff. Really good. It's fun. And we'll see you at 11:30 Eastern on Wednesday. We can't wait. All right. It's going to be fun.
Right.
By the way, it's 8:50 LA time, and your hair is impeccable. You want to see mine? You want to see my palo?
Let's see it.
Ready?
Yeah.
How's that?
It's not bad, dude. Stop being so hard on yourself.
I'm just trying to keep it on top of my head, to be honest with you, because I am this close to transplanting the hair on my back and putting it on top of my head. I'm just thinking about it.
Just be confident, man. Just be confident.
That's right. I'm going to go lift some serious weights now. I've got a trainer waiting for me. All right, buddy. Have a good day. We'll see you again tomorrow for more Instagram Live fun. Thanks, everybody.
All right. See you guys.